My name is Ingrid Ratcliff-Hornback. I come from Greenwood, Indiana, born in Heltonville, Indiana, which is in the southern part of the state. And I came up here in 1985, and I was 2002 partners in Policymaking grad. As I was going through the partners, public accommodation seemed to be where my heart was. And I served on the ADA steering committee for Indiana for 3 or 4 years. And I didn't feel like that I was really making a good contribution. And so I thought I'm going to strike out on my own, since I've learned a few things and have a good networking resource with ADA that I could lean to. So with that, I have helped with different areas with public accommodation, in that I was instrumental in getting a bathroom changed in one of the restaurants in Johnson County where I lived. I also worked with the voting sites in surveying them with the Help Indiana Vote Act. And that was part of the ADA guidelines that we had to go by. And I surveyed 22 sites in Johnson County to make sure that they were ADA accessible. With that, I also gained knowledge of more about public accommodations. And I was reading in the newspaper about the White River Township Trails Committee. So I got to thinking, trails need ADA support. They need ADA resource to make sure that people that are not only disabled, but who are elderly, who might have babies in strollers, that the paths were made per ADA specs. So I called the ADA Indiana Steering Committee and got the guidelines. And I took them to the White River Township meeting with me, and they were very accepting of the information I had, so that they would help, with people like myself and other folks that would be pushing strollers or maybe just be elderly, because of the bumps and slopes and things that have to be certain percentages of height and drops and signage. I wanted to make sure that there was good signage along the trails. So I've been working with that quite a bit. I've worked with a lady that was gone to a festival. She was very upset because the handicap parking place was taken up by the festival. So she called me wanting to know what could be done about it. Again, I went to the ADA steering committee, got the information that I could share with that woman, and helped her out with that situation. Usually I just use the resources that I have with the ADA Indiana, with Rick Edwards that works for the Department of Natural Resources, because I knew that he would be knowledgeable of the parks and situations like that. So I'm just kind of like an ADA troubleshooter. I want to go out and make sure that the places that I go are accessible. I knew ADA existed, but I was very independent. I could drive, walk, and I really did not become aware of problems until I was on the Post-Polio Survivors Association. And then whenever I saw other people in wheelchairs and in iron lungs and things trying to get around, I just become more noticeable of that. And then I was fortunate enough to go to the Partners in Policymaking, and everything just kind of was like a domino effect, that I was able to go into that and go into the public accommodation to visualize what people were going through. I'm very much of an observer, and there's where I get my keys as to where I need to stick my nose in, so to speak, and help. There needs to be more education in the public and private sectors. ADA needs to reach out, be more marketable, be more visible, to make people aware that there's a whole community out there that needs service. I feel just very fortunate that I am physically and mentally able to go out and do what I do. I'm also with our church organization that we are reaching out to the homeless and making them aware of ADA and what their resources are. There's a lot of homeless people that are in wheelchairs. So we're putting together a resource book, and ADA is going to be right there in that book. There's still people out there that really doesn't know what their rights are, and it should be voiced. I have a voice, and I'm going to use it.